Good morning, everyone. This is B. Ramarao from Government Polytechnic College, Station Ganpur. Today, we discuss about oxidation and reduction. Oxidation and reduction. This topic belongs to first year diploma student for first semester, common syllabus for all branches in diploma student. Topic: oxidation and reduction. What is oxidation? What is reduction? Why they goes to oxidation and reduction of the atoms? Those topics discussed in this hour. Oxidation and reduction. On the completion of this period, you would be able to know about what is oxidation, what is reduction, and also we discuss our topic oxidation and reduction. What is oxidation? What is oxidation? What is reduction? What is oxidation? What is reduction reaction? Some important chemical reactions are the rusting of metal. Rusting of metal. When metal present in environment, they interact with environment compounds like gases, humidity, temperature, solubility. These all are influence on the surface of metal. Then metal should be activated. The metal activated. When the environment compounds are influencing on the surface of metal, then metal outermost orbital electrons should be activated. Those active metals influence on the surface of metal, then immediately the metal outermost orbital electrons should be activated. The active metal of outermost orbit electrons should be activated. Those active electrons immediately loss of unit valency orbital electrons. Those electrons comes from metal surface. The metal should be active, then it is formed a positive charged particle of cation. Those electrons releases from metal surface. Such electrons influence on the surface of metal. Then electrons should be influence environment gases like oxygen, humidity, temperature. Then it is formed a negative charged particle of anion. The positive charged particle of metal surface cation and negative charged particle of environment substance. These both are opposite charged particles attract together to form a stable molecule on the surface of metal. The stable molecule of formation on the surface of metal is called rusting of iron. Then metal should be pure. This pure metal should not influencing on the surface of metal. When it is impure, these impure particles act as active particles. Those all are form a positive charged particle of cation on the surface of metal. The cation and anion influence together to form a stable molecule on the surface of metal. This formation of molecule on the surface is called rusting of iron. Rusting of iron. The process involved in photography. This photography components used in silver bromide. These compounds influence in the way living system produce and utilize energy. These all are reactions formed on the surface of metals to form a chemical reaction on the surface of metal. These are oxidation process. These all are oxidation process takes on the surface of metal. Like iron, this iron metal easily undergoes to rusting formation on the surface of metal. Then silver bromide influencing on the surface of photography. The way living system produce and utilize energy, like digestive system, it is takes oxygen and produce energies. These all are oxidation process involving on the surface of compounds. These reactions like oxidation reactions. The operation of car battery. In battery, we are using some chemical compounds like sulfuric acids, like nickel, lead, batteries, hydrogen, oxygen batteries. These all are fuel cells interact with components to form a new components in the substance. They produce heat energy by undergoing oxidation and reduction process. These reactions carried in the batteries like nickel, cadmium cell, electron cells, and fuel cells. These all are using a components. Those compounds are undergoing oxidation and reduction. The oxidation and reduction simultaneously form in the surface of components to generate energy. This generation of energy in the components, they produce heat energy. This heat energy produced in the substance when it is undergoing oxidation and reduction simultaneously to generate heat energy. The producing of heat energy of the components by the formation of oxidation and reduction reactions. Now, These chemical changes are all classified as electron transfer or oxidation reactions. What is oxidation? The change of electrons between the substance. How to change? The reaction in which an atom, ion or molecules loss of electrons is called oxidation reaction. These chemical changes are classified as electron transfer or oxidation reaction takes place on the surface of compounds. These chemical changes are all classified as electron transfer or oxidation reaction. This oxidation reaction in which an atom, ion or molecule loss of electrons is called oxidation. Like some example for oxidation reactions: sodium, when it is loss of electrons to form Na plus 1 electron. These sodium electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. These present in its valence cell only one electron. Those electron, when it is lost, it gets stable electronic configuration of neon, then form a positive charged particle of cation. These Na loss of electrons to form Na plus 1 electron. Mg loss of 2 electrons to form Mg plus 2 electrons. These magnesium electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. In its valency orbital electrons 2, 8, 2. It present 2 electrons in its valency cell. Those electrons lost in its valency cell of magnesium atom to get a stable electronic configuration of Mg plus 2 electrons. This magnesium cation of Mg plus 2 have a stable electronic configuration of nearest inert gas neon configuration. This neon configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So this neon in its valency cell have 8 electrons. It get octet electronic configuration. These octet electronic configuration in its valency cell of neon have stable electronic configuration. The stable electronic configuration of neon to get magnesium by the loss of 2 electrons in its valency cell. Aluminium Al. Its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1. Aluminium loss of 3 electrons in its valency cell to get nearest inert gas neon configuration. So aluminium loss in its valency cell 3 electrons to get stable electronic configuration of neon. So here, what is oxidation? Loss of electrons is called oxidation, or electron transfer is called oxidation. Addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen or increasing in oxidation number also called oxidation. By adding oxygen is called oxidation, removal of hydrogen is also called oxidation, increasing of oxidation number is also called oxidation. So when atom interact with oxygen is called oxidation. When atom or molecule loss of hydrogen molecule is called oxidation. By the loss of electrons to get a positive charged particle to increasing of oxidation number is also called oxidation. What is oxidation number? The charge that would appear an atom of element in combined state is called oxidation state or oxidation number. What is reduction? The reaction in which an atom or ion or molecule gain of electrons is called reduction reaction. Gain of electrons is called reduction reaction. Na plus gain of 1 electrons to form Na. The sodium cation, when it is gain of 1 electrons to get sodium atom electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. When it is gain of electrons to decreasing the charge is also called reduction reaction. So, what is reaction? The reaction in which an atom or ion or molecule gain of electrons is called reduction. Like some example of reduction reactions, Na plus 1 electrons to form Na, Mg plus 2 gain of 2 electrons to get magnesium atom electronic configuration, that is Mg, Al plus 3 gain of 3 electrons to get Al electronic configuration, Fe plus 3 gain of 3 electrons to form Fe. What is reduction? Removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen or decreasing in oxidation number is also called reduction. It is called reduction. Oxidation reaction. In this reaction, electrons are lost. Loss of electrons is called oxidation. The formation of ionic bond by the transfer of electrons takes place from one element to the another element. This type of reactions is called oxidation, reduction reaction or redox reaction. When atoms are unstable, those unstable electrons by the transfer of electrons or sharing of electrons between the atoms to form a new bond, formation of atoms. These bonds formed by one is transfer of electrons between the atoms, second one is sharing of electrons between the atoms. By the transfer of electrons between the atoms to form a positive or negative charged particles. The positive charged particle of atom is called cation and negative charged particle of atom is called anion. These both are opposite charged particles formed by transfer of electrons. Why the transfer of electrons between the atoms? When atoms are unstable except inert gases. Those are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These all are stable. Except these atoms, all atoms are unstable. Those unstable atoms get nearest these atoms configuration. Which one is stable atoms? Those atoms configuration formed by atoms by the transfer of electrons or sharing of electrons. These transfer of electrons or sharing of electrons between the atoms, one is undergoing oxidation, another one is reduction. These oxidation and reduction simultaneously in a single step of reaction is called redox reaction. What is redox? A reaction in which involve simultaneously oxidation and reduction is called redox reaction. Oxidation and reduction are completely in a reaction. Oxidation always accompanied by reduction. A combination of these two involve electrons transfer. The reactions are called redox reaction. Zn plus Cu plus 2 gives Zn plus 2 plus C. This reaction is called oxidation. One is oxidation reaction, another one is reduction reaction. The zinc loss of 2 electrons in its valence cell to form Zn plus 2. Cu plus 2 gain of 2 electrons to form Cu. The zinc undergoes to oxidation by the loss of electrons. This copper gain of electrons between the Cu plus 2 and C. This reaction is called reduction reaction. Losing of electrons is called oxidation reaction. What is reduction? The reaction in which an atom gain of electrons is called reduction reaction. In these reactions, electrons are gained. Why they gain of atom of electrons? When it is unstable, those unstable atoms gain of 1 or 2 or 3 electrons to get octet configuration in its valence cell. Those atoms are involving in reduction reactions. Which atoms have more than 4 electrons in its valence orbital electrons, those atoms are undergoing reduction reactions. Which atoms have less than 4 electrons in its valence shell, those electrons easily undergoes to oxidation. Like sodium, magnesium, aluminium easily undergoes to oxidation process. Like chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen atoms gain of electrons to form negative charged particle. This reaction is called reduction reaction. The metal and metal alloys easily undergoes to oxidation. Which atoms are non-metals? Those atoms are belongs to reduction reaction. Gaining electrons is called reduction reaction. Gaining electrons is called reduction reaction. During the oxidation reaction, as the electrons are lost by the atom or cations are formed. During the oxidation reaction, as the electrons are lost by the atom or cations are formed. What is cation? The positive charged particles are called cations. Why they form cation? When it is Loss of electrons in valence cell, which atoms are unstable. Those atoms loss of electrons to get nearest inert gas configuration is called oxidation. The oxidation state of metals always increases from 0 to positive values, that is plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, so on. The oxidation state of the metals always increases from 0 to positive values. 0 to positive values. Those values are, that is plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, so on. Oxidation reactions are written in the following of using the element calcium. How to see the oxidation reactions in calcium? Symbol of the atom calcium Ca. Ca atomic number 20. Its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2. So this calcium electronic configuration 2, 8, 8, 2. This calcium atom loss of 2 electrons in its valency cell to get nearest inert gas argon configuration. Symbol of the cations of calcium Ca plus 2. The number of electrons lost from the calcium 2 electrons. These calcium cations electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. This electronic configuration is nearest inert gas argon configuration by the loss of 2 electrons from its valence cell. So here reactions here Ca gives Ca plus 2 plus 2 electrons. Symbol of cation Ca plus 2. Symbol of atom Ca. The number of electrons lost from the cations 2 electrons. This reaction is called oxidation reaction. The oxidation state increases from 0 to a positive number, from 0 to plus 2 in the above reaction. So here calcium oxidation state 0 by the loss of 2 electrons from calcium atom to form Ca plus 2. The increasing of oxidation number of atom is called oxidation. The oxidation state increases from 0 to a positive number, from 0 to plus 2 in the above example. So oxidation reactions are written in the following from the element when it is loss of electrons from its valence cell. The oxidation state increases from 0 to a positive number is called oxidation. It is always numerically equal to the number of electrons lost. What is show the positive charge? It is equal to the number of electrons lost from the atom. It is always numerically equal, which is equal to the number of electrons lost from the atom. Reduction. During reduction reactions, as the electrons are gained by the atom, anions are formed. During the reduction reaction, as the electrons are gained by the atom, anions are formed. Why they form anion? The negative charged particles are called anion. Why they form anion? When in its valency cell less than 1, 2, 3 electrons, nearest inert gas configuration or octet configuration. Those atoms gain off electrons from another atoms to form a negative charged particle is called anions. During reduction reactions, as the electrons are gained by the atoms to form anions. To form anions. Anion reactions, the oxidation state of the non-metals always decreases from 0 to a negative value. 0 to a negative value, that is -1, -2, -3, so on. Oxidation state of the non-metals. Reduction reactions are written in the following way by taking oxygen as an example. The symbol of the atom of oxygen O, its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. In its valency cell have 6 electrons. It requires 2 more electrons to get stable electronic configuration of neon. These oxygen atoms gain of 2 electrons to form O-2 is called oxygen anion. Symbol of oxygen O, number of electrons gained, that is 2 electrons, then form symbol of anion formed O-2. Oxygen gain of 2 electrons to form O-2. Symbol of the atom O, number of electrons gain 2 electrons, then form symbol of the anion form O-2. The charge of anion formed is always numerically equal to the number of electrons gained. The charge of anion formed is always numerically equal to the number of electrons gained. So here, redox reaction, the process of oxidation cannot occur without a corresponding reduction reaction. The process of oxidation cannot occur without a corresponding reduction reaction. Oxidation must always be coupled with reduction. Oxidation must always be coupled with reduction reaction. Electrons that are lost by one substance must always be gained by another substance. Electrons that are lost by one substance must be always gained by another substance. Oxidation and reduction reactions are collectively called as redox reaction. Oxidation and reduction reactions are collectively called as redox reaction. Redox reaction. What is redox? The combination of oxidation and reduction simultaneously in a single reaction is called redox reaction. Example of redox reaction. Example of redox reactions. Zn loss of 2 electrons in valence cell, then form Zn plus 2 cation. This reaction is called oxidation reaction. Zn loss of 2 electrons to form Zn plus 2 Cu plus 2 gain of 2 electrons to form copper. This reaction is called reduction reaction. Overall reaction can be written as Zn plus Cu plus 2 gives Zn plus 2 plus Cu. This reaction is called redox reaction. In this reaction, one atom undergoes to oxidation, another atom goes to reduction reaction. Here, zinc by the loss of 2 electrons in the valence cell to form Zn plus 2, Cu plus 2 gain of 2 electrons to get electronic configuration of Cu. Some more example for oxidation reactions. Magnesium loss of 2 electrons in the valence cell to form Mg plus 2. Cu, copper, loss of 2 electrons in the valence cell, Cu plus 2. Some important reduction reactions are Cl, gain of 1 electrons to form Cl minus, O, gain of 2 electrons to form O minus 2, Cl, gain of 1 electrons to form Cl minus, oxygen gain of 2 electrons to form O minus 2. This one is oxidation and reduction. Summary. We have discussed about oxidation reaction with example, reduction reaction with example, redox reactions with examples. This one is summary about this topic. We have discussed about oxidation reaction with example, reduction reaction with example, redox reaction with example. Oxidation, reduction, redox reaction. Now, some quiz questions. Quiz. First question. Which of the following is an example for oxidation reaction? Which of the following is an example for oxidation reaction? First one is options. Mg gives Mg plus 2, Cl gives Cl minus, O gives O minus 2. Fourth one is Cu plus 2 gives Cu. What is oxidation? Loss of electrons. The process of removal of electrons or addition of oxygen, removal of hydrogen or increasing of oxidation number is called oxidation. Here given 4 options. Mg gives to Mg plus 2, Cl gives to Cl minus, O gives to O minus 2, Cu plus 2 to Cu. Here we discuss according to increasing of charge number. Mg gives to Mg plus 2 increasing of charge plus 2. Cl gives to Cl minus decreasing of charge 0 to minus 1. O gives to O minus 2 decreasing of charge 0 to minus 2. Here Cu plus 2 to Cu plus 2 to 0 decreasing of charge in this reaction. So in these four options, oxidation reaction Mg gives to Mg plus 2. Option 1 is correct. So here answer 1. Example for oxidation. Another question. In oxidation reaction, electrons are lost, electrons are gained, oxidation number decreases, electrons are gained or lost. What is oxidation? The loss of electrons is called oxidation. Here first one is electrons are lost, second one is gain, third one decreasing of charge. When it is gain of electrons, in charge is decreasing, electrons gain or loss, both are given in fourth option. Now answer 1 is correct. Electrons or loss is called oxidation. So option 1 is right. Frequently asked about this topic. First one is define oxidation and reduction. Give one example for each. Define oxidation and reduction. Give each one example for oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. What is oxidation? Loss of electrons, like Na gives to Na plus 1 electron. What is reduction? Gain of electrons is called reduction. Cl, gain of 1 electrons to form Cl minus. Thank you once again.